in every high-achieving math country on earth, all the places where they educate their kids very well, places like Sweden and South Korea, where they do really good math teaching, they start serious algebra in 7th grade or even in 6th grade. In No Child Left Behind America, our kids don't even start algebra till 8th grade. And under Common Core, algebra is pushed into high school. And as Milgram points out, if your kids aren't starting serious algebra till they're freshmen in high school, there's no way they get to calculus anymore. In fact, school districts all across the country are taking calculus out of the high school rotation because the kids won't get there. And they're not going to offer it to the 1 or the 3 or the 10 kids who are good enough to take it. They're not going to offer it because that wouldn't be socially just. And so what do you got? Again, I say this because this may be the important, if you're at all concerned about the future of this country in math, science, and technology, this may be the most important video I show you all night. Don't listen to me. Listen to them. That's Jason Zimba. There he is. He is one of the 5 people who wrote the standards, more or less. He is the man most responsible for the math standards. He is called the architect of the Common Core math. In this short video clip, you won't see her. He's being interviewed by Sandy Stotsky, your Massachusetts Sandy. And she gets him to admit on camera that we didn't write Common Core math to prepare your kids for, they will not be college ready when they're done with it. And they will not be prepared for STEM careers because of our math program. He admits it. Him, listen.
The definition of college readiness, I think it's a fair critique that it's a minimal definition of college readiness.
Dr. Stotsky, your definition of college readiness, you're right. What we've done is a minimal definition of college ready. Now listen to that again.
The definition of college readiness, I think it's a fair critique that it's a minimal definition of college readiness.
For some colleges.
Well, for the colleges most kids go to, but not that most parents probably aspire, right?
It's not for STEM, it's not for international.
That's true. It's not only not for STEM, it's also not for selective colleges.
It's not, every time she criticizes him, he criticizes himself more. Not only is it not meant to prepare your kids for STEM careers, it's not even going to prepare your kids for math at selective colleges. What does he mean by that? He's going to go on to give the example of Berkeley, UC Berkeley. And what he's going to say is, if your kid wants to get into UC Berkeley, she better have pre-calculus, even if she doesn't want to be an engineer, but that's disarming, that's deceiving. Do you know what we mean when we say a selective college? A selective college is any college that has a basic math entrance requirement. All of them do. Go back, I won't stop it this time. The end gets even better. Listen to this one more time.
The definition of college readiness, I think it's a fair critique that it's a minimal definition of college readiness.
For some colleges.
Well, for the colleges most kids go to, but not that most parents probably aspire, right?
It's not for STEM, it's not for international.
That's true. It's not only not for STEM, it's also not for selective colleges that, for example, UC Berkeley, whether you're going to be an engineer or not, you better have pre-calculus to get on these work, right? And that's true. I think the third pathway goes a lot towards that, but your issue is really broader than that.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure that we got that
I'm
out.
not saying it's selective colleges. There's a much broader question here.
That's right. It's both, I think, in the sense of being clear about what this college readiness.
Listen to Sandy.
And that's the big subject.
But don't you call something college ready when it only applies to a certain kind of college and a certain lower level of mathematical expertise that won't buy you far on the international market in most major disciplines of technology, economics, business, and so on.
All I can do is shake his head, yes. And if you think I've edited the video, you can watch the whole thing on YouTube. I'm telling you, he beclowns himself much more in the bigger video. How's that for a word? Beclowns himself. Yeah, but you heard it. This is the guy that wrote the standards, telling you we didn't mean this for STEM careers. We didn't mean this for math at the best schools. This is, as Milgram says it is. In order to make a bad math student like me feel better, you're going to hold down a really good math student. In order to make a bad reader feel better about himself, you're going to hold me down. What would my life have been like if I was stuck in 3rd grade reading 3rd grade books instead of the high school books I was reading for 7 years before I got there? What would have happened to whatever love or ability I had in reading or writing? But this is the objective. How about this? 2nd grade math problem. Tell how to make 10 when adding 8 plus 5. Little boy writes, you cannot make 10 with 8 plus 5. Teacher marks it wrong and writes, yes you can. Take 2 from 5 and add it to 8. 8 plus 2 equals 10, then add 3. And I suppose if you think about that long enough, it makes a kind of sense. But you're not doing math anymore. This is math Mad Libs. What you're playing is word games with numbers. And for somebody who is numerically gifted, you're going to destroy it. This is not math anymore.